The recently leaked draft of the SCOTUS ruling that would overturn Roe v. Wade has completely changed the political calculation. The landscape, it was a bombshell report and a leak that is going to have reverberations throughout, well, not only the midterms, but going forward. Since now we're talking about privacy and the rights of women, non-binary people, transgender, etc. Anybody who has a uterus, anyone who can get pregnant is directly affected by this. So now, of course, that does set those groups back, as well as gay, trans, women, lesbian, bisexual, interracial couples, basically anything that could be related to your right to privacy. Now, that's why Republicans are not wanting to talk about any of that. In fact, they want to completely ignore that part of it and want to focus on the fact that it was leaked, not what was actually in the leaks. So now I'm going to show you some videos here. We're going to start out with Mitch McConnell. This is Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who basically set the stage on Tuesday for the Republican response. Take a look.
You need, it seems to me, excuse the lecture, to concentrate on what the news is today. Not a leaked draft, but the fact that the draft was leaked.
On that.
No, just ignore the fact that this leak, this draft, basically spells the end of 50 years of reproductive rights in this country, supported by 70% of Americans, even large majority of Republicans supported, but and not only that, the fact that it's a complete abandonment of judicial precedent, and the fact that it might make us really look bad during the midterms. Now let's focus on the real problem. The leaks. Lots of leaks. Yes, that's where I'm the leaker. Amazing. All right, so now, he also said this in a statement. By every indication, this was yet another escalation in the radical left. Oh, somehow it's the left's fault. Of their ongoing campaign to bully and intimidate federal judges and substitute mob rule for the rule of law. Mob rule, everybody. From the party that brought you January 6th. Now they're worried about mob rule. Great. Fun. Now, what this essentially means is Republicans are mad because, hey, only the conservative Supreme Court is supposed to have privacy. Not you guys. Not regular people. What about our privacy? And of course, it brings me back to the, I guess, hypocrisy, not just in the Supreme Court, but also Congress as well. That is, flipped out every time it's their privacy that gets violated. But when it comes to regular people's, American citizens' privacy, especially the privacy now to go and get reproductive care, well, they don't care about that. Oh, no, we can get rid of that privacy because we don't really care about your privacy. Okay, anyway. So now, I'm going to give you some more statements here from different Republicans. Let's start with Lindsey Graham. He said, "It is a sad day for the Supreme Court and a dangerous day for the rule of law. The radical left is hell-bent on reshaping institutions that have stood in the way of the outcomes they desire." Reshaping institutions, right? Hey, okay, I'm guessing that he's referring to the call from progressives to stack the Supreme Court. Okay, look, now here's the thing about that. There's nothing in the Constitution that spells out that you have to have 9 Supreme Court justices. That's not in the Constitution. So you could take Alito's argument and say, okay, well, hey, look, if the Constitution does not spell out a specific right to an abortion, well, the Constitution also does not spell out the fact that, you can expand the court anytime that you want. It doesn't say that you can't. So why don't we? So ironically, they're kind of making our case for us for expanding the Supreme Court. And I honestly think that that's exactly what we have to do. It's exactly what we have to do. Now, whether or not the Democrats who are so focused on decorum and so focused on, do we respect institutions? I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I wouldn't bet on it, but you never know. Now, there's more. So the takes are going to get more unhinged. Now, I'm going to show you, or I'm going to tell you that this was a tweet from Harmeet K. Dillon. Who is this person? Apparently, she was on former President Donald Trump's legal team who had challenged the election results. Here's what she said in a tweet. This act of leaking an important opinion is terrorism against the court and against our nation. It is far more destructive than any suicide bomber would be. Yeah, she just said the leaking of this draft is worse than a suicide bomber. Oh, this leaked draft, worse than 9/11. That's essentially what she is saying. That's insane. That's lunacy. She continues by saying, these people behind this vile act are attacking the very foundation of the U.S. We must not let the terrorists win. Dude, she was defending Trump, who was attacking the very foundation of the United States election by challenging the peaceful transfer of power by spreading election conspiracy theories. What? No, this is ridiculous. Now, she also had called on the Supreme Court, interestingly enough, to, quote, step in and do something so that Trump would illegally remain president of the United States. That's a coup. That's a coup. But no, according to this person, this is terrorism. This is reproductive rights. And the leaking of a draft that shows how the Supreme Court plans to gut reproductive rights, that's the real terrorism. Telling the American people what the court plans to do early, that is terrorism. Oh no, there's more. There's more. I've put together a cringe compilation of different Republicans from Governor Ron DeSantis and Ted Cruz to Jenna Ellis. I want to show you that here in all of its horrible glory.
A betrayal of the Supreme Court.
Is this a crime? To me, I mean, it's clearly unethical. And if it was a lawyer, they should be disbarred immediately.
Right. This is all about Democrats just want America the way they want it, and they don't care who they have to hurt and punish in the way. And
this is as corrosive, as destructive to the Supreme Court as we've ever seen.
It could be obstructing the administration of justice, the due process of justice.
And I hope whoever is responsible for this not only is fired instantly, but is prosecuted and serves real jail time for violating the confidences of the Supreme Court.
this isn't just an act of civil disobedience. This is an actual insurrection. We want to talk about January 6th. That's completely different. This is something that is actually trying on purpose to undermine the rule of law.
I know they launched an investigation. They need to figure out who did that, and they need to hold them accountable, because that's a real significant breach of trust. You want to talk about an insurrection, that's a judicial insurrection.
Judicial insurrection, everybody. January 6th, the insurrection, not an actual insurrection, leaking a document that was going to be released in a couple of months. By the way, it was already been circulating since February, leaking that up to the public. The public knows what the court's actually going to do before they do it. Well, that's terrorism. That is terrorism. That is an insurrection. Insane. These people are nuts. Just bizarre. I love how performatively angry they get. Oh my God, the leakers. How dare they? How dare they assault our institutions? But you guys attack our institutions daily. Republicans do. Again, in some cases, literally, with January 6th, which, of course, you saw that they downplayed and they tried to compare to the violence at the Capitol. And they've also come after education. They've attacked that institution. They've attacked our electoral processes. They've attacked democracy itself. So these people need to shut the fuck up. And by the way, this does destroy 50 years of precedent in two different cases, Roe and Casey. In both cases, conservative justices affirmed the right to privacy. But now Republicans don't care about that right. Now, that's the real story. I don't care who leaked it. I don't care why. I don't think that's the story. Okay? I think the story is losing bodily autonomy. That's the real story here. And so this is classic Republican deflection. Whether or not they want to take the focus off of, this is going to probably make us look really bad when it comes to the midterms, because most of the Americans do not actually support this. This is going to ramp up Democrats and their message, or seemingly help them in the midterms. Or there's the other theory, going around where it's, it's the Republicans that actually leaked it, and it's because they wanted to enshrine this into law. I don't care about any of that. I don't care what the leaks come from. I don't care who did it. I really don't even care about the motivation. What I care about is what's actually in it. And I think that's the worst part of all. That's the scariest thing. Because now you have the government intruding into people's personal lives and personal decisions. And so, if you want to sit there and call it terrorism and deflect from January 6th and do all that stuff, well, that's up to you. I'm going to focus on the real story, who this is going to hurt. And it's going to hurt a lot of people.